I found some leather seats here, and they include some power seats for the front. We're switching out the seats in this thing, and this originally wasn't a vehicle that had power seats, so I'm making that work for the front two seats. Now, admittedly, a person wouldn't have to strip the interior as much as I did here, but in order to make these power seats work, what we got to do is we got to pull a power wire from the fuse box there, one for each seat. And then what I've got is I just got temporary a plug here and a plug here. And what we're going to do is we're going to hook this up, and then we're going to test the seats and make sure everything works before we throw all our interior back together. And all it simply is a power wire and a ground wire. So we've got a power wire coming off of there, and it comes down, and it's going to go to that plug. And then we've got a ground wire that grounds right to the body on that one. Then we have another power wire that comes, and it goes all the way around here like this. You can see it. You see that red wire? That's it right there. And it comes all the way around, and it comes right to there, and again to our plug. And then our ground is right onto the body again right there. So simply, this is just two power wires and two ground wires. And then we're going to hook them up to those plugs, plug them into the seats, and then we'll have power seats. So this is the driver's side plug here, and you'll notice that it has 6 pinouts on there. And then when we take a look at our wires here, what I've done is I've just taken some shrink wrap there, and I've just taken those bundle of wires and then sealed them off there so nothing's going to get at them. Now, those wires are for the heated seat, and I'm going to show you why I can't hook up the heated seat, but we will have power seats, but we won't have the heat enabled on these. These seats actually do have the heated seats in there. All we want is these two wires here. We've got a black and a red, and that's going to be our positive and our negative. I just got some temporary connections here just to test and make sure everything is working properly. And then once we're satisfied with that, then I will do a proper connection with some solder and some shrink wrap on there. This page here is going to show us some information on our heated seats, our power seats. What we're looking at here is we've got our power coming in, and we're coming in here, and it says circuit breaker 3, and then we've got fuse 12, and we've got C317. If we take a look at C317, C means connection, so that's connection 317. We're coming down, that's red. And then the red goes to C329. Now C329 is going to be the plug for our seat. And one more thing to notice on this page here is we're going to take a look over, and it's saying this is our driver's seat here. Okay, now when we flip the page, we've got the same information. We're going through circuit breaker 3, it's coming down, we've got our red, we've got our C318. And that's going to be in our fuse box. And then it comes down to C335. If we take a look over here, this is for our passenger seat. Now, if we look on this page here, this is our C335. This is our passenger side plug right here. So it's a different configuration than the driver's side. We'll see C335, passenger side plug going underneath the seat. Now when we take a look at this page here, this is showing us our C329, and this is the black plug driver's side. So this is the plug underneath the seat for the driver's side. There again, you'll see their different configuration right there. And then we have right here where it shows us what our wires are. And these ones with the asterisks there, those are going to be incorporated with the heater. Now I'll refer you to this page here. We've got C317. Now this is in the junction block, and it says it's natural. So this is going to be like the white plug in the junction block. Now when we take a look in here, this is the one right here. This one's black, this one's white. So this is going to be our C317. This one is for the driver's side. Now, if we take a look, we want to look at pin 12. Pin 12 is our fused battery positive. This is where we're going to hook up our red wire for our power seats for the driver's side. Now, when we look at C318, this is a black plug. This is in the junction block, and this is it right here. So this is the plug C318, and we want to look at pin out 10. we see the pin out 10 is our battery positive. So this is where our red wire for the passenger side power seat is going to be. So the black plug is passenger side and the white plug is the driver's side. Again here, black plug, passenger side, white plug, driver's side. These are our two spots. We're going to connect a red wire to 10. We're going to connect a red wire to 12. We're going to run that through the body. It's going to go to those two plugs, and then we're going to have our ground right close on the body there. Here's where you see the driver's side plug. So our red wire right here, that's going to go to that white plug over at the fuse box. And then our ground is right in here on one of our grounds right there, right to the body, right close. Over here on the passenger side, here's our passenger side plug. You can see how that's different there. And again, we're going to have our red wire coming from the black plug, and then that comes to our plug in here, goes to our black plug on the fuse box, and then our black wire is just going to go to a ground right to the body right there. So these are our two plugs here. I don't know if you could tell, but that's the white plug there. It kind of looks a little yellowish, but it's supposed to be like a natural or a white color right there. And then there's our black plug. Passenger side, driver's side. Both are going to be in the bottom right corner of the plug. Here's that plug removed. Hopefully you can see my red wire right there. So what I did was I just got my red wire. I took one of these spade connectors right here and I cut that blue thing off with the utility knife, and then I connected that onto the end of my red wire, and then I just used some shrink wrap and then I put that on, help the connection. And there you see it right there. Now when this plugs in, it's going to plug in like that, and then that's going to be the bottom right hand corner. And I did that for both of those plugs, that one and this one. So now that we have our power and our ground, we can put our seats in and make sure that they work before we install the interior. You'll see the interior lights are on because we're missing a few doors on this thing. But once you connect the battery, you don't need the key in the ignition or anything like that. These seats should move. So just go through the operations. Here's the lumbar. That's going back. That's right there. This is gonna be going back in or out for the back support. So back for lumbar, out for lumbar, forward, back, up, down, back tilt, front tilt. Everything's working on this one. Here we are over on the passenger side. We're going to check everything on this one too. So we got our lumbar. So out, I can see it moving. Back, I can see it moving. We've got forward, reverse, up, down, tilt back, tilt forward. And I can see all those operations moving. And the good news is it's just a simple power wire and ground wire to get all that working. Yes, all we need is a power wire and a ground wire, but when we take a look at this here, notice that our power is coming in and it's going through circuit breaker 3. And we need that circuit breaker in order for any of our seats to function. Without that, they're not going to function. In the fuse box, here's our circuit breaker 3. So if you don't have one, you just need to get one of those and put that in there. Without it, the seats won't work. So you need that in there first, and then once you have that in there and you put your two red wires, one here and one here, then you should have some functioning seats. And we're looking at C218, and this is basically our heater switch. And then we're going to take a look at our wires that are coming in and out of this. So this is C218, and this is what our plug looks like. And what we want to notice here is the ones with the asterisks. So we've got that one, number 1, and we've got number 4 here. Those are the two we need, and that is the heated seat. So driver heated seat output, and number 4, passenger heated seat output. When we take a look here, here's our number 1, and then you would count over to number 10. So here's an example of our switch here with the heated seats on this portion here. So you'd have it off, you'd choose low, high, and then you've got your left and right seat. This is what's going to control your heated seats. That ends up going in the dash right beside your heater control, and as you can see, this vehicle doesn't have the heated seats, so it doesn't have that option on there. If we take a look at our connector here, this is number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you see those 2 wires are missing. So that's the heated seat wires, driver's side, passenger side. So that's missing out of here. Now, if I was to try and get the heated seats to work, either I would have to put those 2 pinouts here and run that wiring as it is in the book, or I would want to find a plug that has that, and then I would just splice the wires, because I don't think these connects are easily found to install. Well, I would try and find a plug if I could find one, and then I would splice the wires out here and then maybe run them where they need to go. Here is our switch that we were just talking about. So if we take a look here, we have pink and dark green, which gets spliced into there, and then it comes to the switch. Notice that it says number 5. This is the driver's side. When we flip the page, we've got the passenger side, we've got the same diagram, we've got the same pin 5, and we've got it going to the same spot here where it's spliced in. We go to our plug C218, we notice that 5 is pink and dark green. That is that wire there. The ones we're missing are 1 and 4. Those are the ones that you would have to find and hook those up from the switch to their location if you want your heated seats to work. We take a look, that's pin 1, that's light blue, and it comes down and it's going to this splice right here. So you would have to find that location and you'd have to run a wire and hook it up right there. And again, this is for the driver's seat, pin 1. If we turn the page, this is the passenger seat. This is pin 4. That is light blue and white. That comes down, and you'll find that spot there to where it connects. And then you would have heat for your passenger seat. If you wanted to upgrade from your regular seats to power seats, it's not that hard to switch it over.